All right, another really great thing to do with your arpeggios is to start expanding them a little bit to add in some other key notes, okay? Now, some of those notes might be something like the seventh, which is a really common thing for us to add into an arpeggio. And again, if you don't know what a seventh is, don't stress over it. It's okay. But let's just go back and let's add in another note. Now, that means we're going to have 4 notes, though, right? So instead of just playing the root, the third, and the fifth, however we're doing it, we're going to add in one more note. So the next note that we add in is going to be what we call the seventh. Now, we can add in what's called the major seventh, which is right behind the C or the root, whatever root you're looking for. It's the note right behind it, half step right behind it. It's a really pretty note, okay? It sounds really nice. So if you're playing something that's major, okay, or true to the key that you're in, maybe you're in the key of A minor or something like that. So right there, I could go, and you can hear how pretty that sounds. So that adds a really nice color into that. So if we were listening to this C chord being played, and we went, so we can add it in. Now again, we can add in anything. But oftentimes what I like to tell students is that if you start adding in everything and everything gets equal amount of playtime, you're not emphasizing anything. Right? If you emphasize everything, you're not emphasizing anything. So the trick is to use some of the other notes a bit more sparingly as color to make it sound a little more interesting, but to really try and emphasize certain notes of that chord. In this case, we're adding in that major seventh, right? Sounds really nice. Now, we could do the same thing over a minor chord. Remember, all we have to do to make this minor is to drop that second note that we're playing, which we call the major third, back a half step to become a minor third. Right? Now, when we do that, though, we're going to get a really weird scale doing that, okay? But it can happen. We could have a minor chord with a major seventh on top. It happens. And it does sound a little unusual. So what we might want to do is take this C chord that we're playing, and instead of playing that major seventh, we're going to drop that back a fret and play what we call the minor seventh, which makes a more bluesy sound. See, sounds kind of cool. And then we get what's called, in this case, it'd be called a C7, which you've probably played before, like a C7, right? C dominant 7. Which sounds really great for bluesy stuff, okay? So this is a seventh that we would probably use more with that minor sound. So now if I went back to that C and made it minor, that's a really common sound for us. Right? Instead of doing that, we add in that sound. Now again, please understand that, again, the world of arpeggios goes on a long way. There's a million things you can do. So right now, I just want you to understand that starting off with those major and minor ones are a really great place to go. If you get really comfortable with those, adding this seventh is a nice addition or a nice extension from there. But be careful all the time of just trying to input information in your brain without actually being able to utilize it. When you do that, you still wind up with nothing. At the end of the day, you might have all kinds of thoughts, but you still can't apply anything in your playing. And I want you to really be aware of that.